Good morning. Guess what? It's actually not even well, I don't know what time it is because I can't see the alarm clock around the corner of my bed. It's almost 11, but hey, I'm still doing this before noon. So, good morning. It's a bright, sunny, but cold day. I'm not kidding you. I thought it was supposed to warm up after New Year's. The weather forecast has since changed. It is supposed to be like 3 below, apparently, on New Year's Day. Well, actually, I have a doctor's appointment next Wednesday. My mom checked the weather forecast. The day of my doctor's appointment, it's supposed to be 4 below. Yeah. It is going to be cold. If it's this cold here, I don't want to know how cold it is right now on the island. So, yesterday I got the big news. I got a thing from Mackinac Wheels, which I was so excited about, and so I went and I filled out the official application. I'm not so sure as I was when I went to fill it out because they do ask you on these applications if you have ever worked on Mackinac Island before, and I said, yeah, this past year I worked at Great Lake at the Lakeview Hotel, but I left after 3 weeks citing an unavoidable family emergency that required me to cut my summer severely short, and I actually said because I had to leave so soon, pretty much right after the season started, I feel horribly guilty about it, even though it was an unavoidable family emergency. And I would prefer them not contact the hotel because I feel like I really let down my employees and my employer, which I do feel like I did that. But it was a family emergency. The family emergency was me having anxiety and panic attacks again. And that was what prompted my dad to say, this is an unsafe environment for my daughter. So, luckily I have, since I think I've got a handle on my anxiety again, so I think I am all set and good to go. I just have to focus on everything that is good, everything that is great. And honestly, the majority of my anxiety and my panic attacks I had while I was up there could have been solved simply by letting me be removed from the situation and letting me sit and be quiet instead of all these people just hammering at me. So I now know what to do. This is the thing, I know what I'm supposed to do when my anxiety starts acting up, when I feel like I'm going to start panicking. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm just supposed to take a deep breath, reach for the calm, recite everything that is good, look around me, take stock of everything that's around me, take stock of everything that is good, and just breathe and just push my way through it. And I don't know why. When I get to really stressful situations, I just forget what I'm supposed to do. So, luckily, I think I have a handle of it. I just need to remind myself. And the good thing is the place where I sent in my application, it's actually not a hotel-run bike shop. So here's the thing. When I lived on the island, you guys saw where I lived if you watched my videos from Mackinac Island. I lived on this little side street by St. Anne's Church. Really beautiful. Would have been really beautiful. Peaceful. Could see the lake when I walked out the back door. It was so nice. And then I would go down the street. So my house was like, so I would go like this. So Main Street would be ahead of me. And then I would either go to my right, which would take me to Mission Point and Arch Rock, or to my left, which would take me into town, which was about like not even a half-mile away, really. And so this bike shop, Mackinac Wheels, was actually on my way to go into town on the left side of the street. So I usually passed it. I passed it every single day I was up there, sometimes a few times a day. Well, a couple times a day, sometimes more than 2. I would pass that bike shop every single day. And I loved going past that bike shop. It was small. It's actually locally owned. It's not owned by one of the hotels or anything like that. It's actually owned by a family on the island. So I would pass it every day. One of the things I loved is this bike shop. They actually have a pair of dogs, one of which was this brown lab. Very cute, very sweet. He's I called him Mr. Old Dog. He was so cute with the gray muzzle, and he was so loving. And they had like this one of those circular type of chairs, and he'd just sit in there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. You are adorable. I loved him. Dogs have like total freedom pretty much to do whatever they want on Mackinac Island unless they're the dog of a tourist, which surprisingly, there aren't a lot of hotels on Mackinac Island that allow pets. So, because lots of people bring their dogs because it's really cool. And I actually saw someone with a cat. So, there are a ton of dogs on Mackinac Island. I think really the only rule is if you're going out on the highway, your dog absolutely has to be leashed. But, like, a lot of the dogs that belong to the island residents, I didn't see too many with identification tags on them. Like, a lot of the dogs owned by the businesses, like Mackinac Reels and the Haunted Theater, those dogs actually roam free. Like, I was talking about the dog at Mackin' on Wheels, and someone's like, oh yeah, those 2 dogs there will go into the sound and go up to the restaurants, and they know which restaurants to go to, and they know which restaurants, so if they go, we'll give them free food. I'm like, this is insane, but that's a big difference between the UP part of Michigan and the lower peninsula part of Michigan. And the UP, because it is such a still kind of very much has that kind of frontier feel, dogs are everywhere. I will never forget stopping to use the restroom at a little store in Newberry, walking out and stopping in shock because there's a little Yorkie in the store, and I'm like, hi! You know, I'm coming from a big city where even the smaller towns around us, you're not supposed to take any sort of animal with you into a store or a restaurant unless it is a therapy pet. Up north, they don't care. Okay, at my college, I still remember going to eat at the Den and see these 2 little women with a cart thinking it was a baby, seeing them get up, leave the baby. I'm like, they just left the baby. I'm looking back over, and there's a pair of ears. And it's not a baby, it's a Pomeranian. And then walking past the branch of Wells Fargo that's actually inside the building with the Den, and here comes this little mean bulldog going, ah, and I'm like, oh, okay, I go the other way. So, dogs are everywhere up there, and I absolutely love it so much because it's so much different from here. Midland is very much formal, very much strict and stern-faced. It's very weird for somebody like me because I stand out a lot in Midland because I'm like, wee, and happy and bright and sunny, but everybody else in Midland is kind of very dour and serious, very Puritan. And I'm like, really? Can't everybody be happy? It's like, it's so hard. And then I go up north and everything's so informal up there. It's fun. People want to smile. People want to be happy. It's like, I love it up there so much. So I just want to get back up there. It's where I belong. So filled out the application. I hope I get the job at Mackin' on Wheels. Because as I was thinking about it, it's like, I love to bike. I love my bike. The thing is, here in Midland, there isn't really a lot of places that are actually fun to go bike riding to because it is a city. So usually I just wind up biking out of the library, biking by the hospital, biking here, biking there. And it says it's a bicycle-friendly city. It's not exactly bike-friendly. You know, just because you get a bunch of those rideshare bikes does not mean you're this really cool place. So it's not a lot of fun to ride a bike in Midland. And it's like, oh, but Mackinaw's probably the same. I don't care. On Mackinac, I can ride my bike to Arch Rock and go hiking. I can go down all these trails. I love the outdoors. Doesn't like me because I'm actually allergic to, I don't know what I'm allergic to. I think I'm allergic to pine trees or something, but I'm allergic to the outdoors, something outdoors. When I was in Marquette, I was actually diagnosed with some sort of outdoor allergy. I don't know what it is. All I know is the outdoors don't like me, but I love the outdoors. They're so much fun. So, I love biking, and my mom says this would actually be a good job for me because I love going on bike rides. I love it so much. I'm like, it would also be nice because maybe I can pick up, because not only do they rent and sell bikes, but they also repair bikes. So, maybe I could pick up some things about repairing bikes because my dad, I mean, even just to fill my tires, my dad does it for me. So could I learn how to do a few bike repairs too so that I don't have to call my dad? Well, I'd have to call him anyway because I have to inflate my tires. So, but it's fun. I hope I get this job. I'm just sad that next Saturday I have to take my tree down. Yes. Well, not next Saturday, the Monday. Oh my gosh, what is the date next Monday? I don't know. Oh shoot, where'd my calendar go? Okay, I lost my 2017 calendar. My 2018 calendar. I don't really like the 2018 calendar I got from the Dollar Tree. It has very, very, very small squares. And also, you might think this is weird, it's Star Wars, okay? I love Star Wars, you all know I'm a huge Star Wars fan, but I kind of like having, the 8th. I kind of like having this part right here be a little break in Star Wars, but I don't have it, so I have to have a Star Wars calendar. But so the 8th is when all my Christmas stuff, except for the tinsel on my posters, is coming down because Epiphany is next Saturday, and I was going to take it down because they're working on the apartment. I don't care. I'm leaving my stuff up. I want to do it through Epiphany, so I'm doing it through Epiphany, and it's next Saturday, so next, on the 8th, everything has to come down, which is going to be sad. But might as well get it over with, and then I gotta rearrange. I'm not totally rearranging my room, but now I can move stuff and like that. Oh, and if you're wondering, my loom, my mom, I did talk to my mom. My mom is actually all for me getting rid of it. Partly the reason she got it for me was my Aunt Karen gave her a bunch of yarn, and so we aren't going to use that. So we're going to return my loom, which actually isn't too bad. We also had to return one of my brother's gifts. My mom got him an electronic drum pad because my brother loves the drums, and he has one, but it's getting really old or something. So she bought him a new one. Unfortunately, it is not what she or he thought it was. You have to like have it hooked up to something or an internet or an app or something. So they're returning it. So we're just going to return my loom and we'll get something different. Maybe by that time they'll have the soundtrack for The Last Jedi. And speaking of Star Wars, I did realize one bad thing about going to work on Mackinac Island. Solo is coming out next year, the new Star Wars movie, which I kind of want to see because it's about Han Solo. Who doesn't want to go see that? It's directed by Ron Howard, so come on. So it comes out next year, and I thought it was coming out in December, and it's not. It's actually coming out in May. So the Solo movie is actually coming out in May, and by that time, I will probably be on the island. There actually is a movie theater in Mackinac City. However, it's one of those older ones that I don't think actually gets new movies right away. And I don't think there's a movie theater in St. Ignace, and even if there was, I don't have a car to get to it because St. Ignace, the way the town is set up, it's not easy like it is to Mackinac City, which is where pretty much everybody goes. All the summer workers go when they get off the islands. They go to Mackinac City because it's set up in such a way that there are shops within walking distance from the ferries. But St. Ignace is totally different. So you can't like just go to St. Ignace and go walking because you actually have to cross a highway. And you don't have to, and the highway is bad up there. So I think the other closest movie theater is like in Gaylord or Grayling. I think it's Gaylord. And so if you're a summer worker who doesn't bring a car up with you, that kind of like, oh, I can't really go see a movie because I don't know if the theater there is going to get it. So it's totally bummed because I was like, oh, yay, Solo. Oh, shoot, I'll be on the island. So I wish they would do stuff like they'd get some of the movies and bring them to Mackinac Island because it'd be so much fun. So maybe I'll send a plea. I don't know. But that's if I'm working on the island. If I'm not working on the island, it doesn't matter. I'll still be able to go see Solo because I'll be here. And the movie theater is just a few miles. It's just like 2 miles away. So, and it'll be summer, so I might be able to ride my bike there. Because I'm not sure if my brother would go see Solo with me. I'm not sure. He liked Rogue One. But I'm not sure if he'd want to go see the new Han Solo movie. Well, it's not the new Han Solo. It's just Han. So I don't know if he'd want to go see it. But I didn't realize that. No! Which means by the time I'd come home, it'd probably be out on DVD and Blu-ray. So I'd probably just end up buying it if I don't see it all. But it would be like make for a miserable summer because I would not see it. So by the time I finally get to see it, it would be horribly spoiled. So I don't know. I'm just going to have to work around it. If I get my job. If I get the job. Who knows? I might only go up there and work for half a season. But see, the one scary thing is going up there, and if I work for the whole season, I won't be coming home till November. That's scary to me because I rode the ferry in October, and it was terrifying. It was fun. But it was terrifying because I had never ridden the ferry. Well, actually I had when I was 12. It was a really rough day when we went out, but it was also a nice day. And so I was actually kind of scared. So I'm a little bit worried about using the ferry in November because that's actually when they start their winter schedule, which means instead of going to Mackinac City, I'd be going to St. Ignace, and my parents would have me, my family would have to come get me in St. Ignace, and then we'd have to cross the bridge. So my parents would have to cross the bridge twice. So they'd have to cross the bridge, which is $5, I think. To have to like cross the bridge, come get a ferry ticket, come get me. They'd get a round trip ferry ticket. Come get me, get my stuff, take me back across to the mainland, and then pay again to cross the bridge. Which, crossing the bridge in winter in November is actually not that bad. I've done it twice. No, 3 times. It is actually not that bad. I've crossed it twice in November and once in December. It's actually really not that bad, crossing the bridge in winter. If you go early enough, it's not that bad. If you cross in January or February or March, good luck, because if we have a really cold winter, they actually wind up closing the bridge a few times because of falling ice. So Mackinac Bridge is usually always open, except when there's ice falling from the things in the middle. So yeah, that's when it's not fun. But other than that, crossing the it's weird. I am totally fine with crossing the Mackinac Bridge. I don't care. I like crossing the Mackinac Bridge. I don't like crossing the bridges in Bay City where they lift up in the middle so boats can go through. I hate those. I do not like crossing them, which is weird. I'm totally fine crossing the Mackinac Bridge. I'm totally fine crossing the Zilwaukee Bridge, which my parents hate driving over. But I am terrified of the bridges in Bay City that open up. I'm scared of them. I don't know why. I don't know why. Probably because of all the movies I've seen. But I do not like crossing those. Give me the Mackinac and Zilwaukee Bridge any day, and I will be fine. Heck, give me the bridge that connects Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to Sault Ste. Marie, Canada. That is apparently one of the most terrifying bridges to drive across, and I thought it was totally fine. So, I don't understand. So, I'm just weird like that. So, alright, I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to post this during lunchtime. I am working my way through Star Wars! I'm actually very proud of myself last night. I am almost done outlining Crossing Battlefields. I actually sat down last night because I had a girl private message me on fanfiction asking me when I'm going to get to my rewrite of Revenge of the Sith, and I said, I don't know, it might be another year, year and a half, maybe 2 years. And because I hadn't even finished outlining Crossing Battlefields, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to sit there. I have to get this story done, finished and outlined, because I haven't even started thinking about what I'm going to do in Revenge of the Sith. And my thing is I'm writing Revenge of the Sith that it's going to take place pretty much right after Crossing Battlefields, because I'm keeping, I think, like the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 6, part of the Lost Missions, but then the remaining part of Crossing Battlefields is just going to pretty much be a lead-in to Edge of Peace. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I had to sit there and get this worked out, because the end of Crossing Battlefields is going to be a total rewrite. So I had to get that plan out. I have to outline Edge of Peace. I have to get that started. I am only on book 9. I still have 2 more books to do in this series, so it is literally a labor of love. So I'm having so much fun. But to help get me inspired, I decided, what am I going to do with all this free time? Because I'm still on a break from job hunting. And then I realized I have never done the one thing I said I was going to do, which is watch all my Star Wars DVDs and Blu-rays in timeline order, which means the order they act, the order the events take place, not the order they came out. Which is easy when you go through Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, then you get to Clone Wars, and it's an anthology series, so it's aired out of order. Luckily, I have chronological order, so I'm bouncing back between DVDs, finding everything, and after that is Revenge of the Sith, after that is Rebels, then Rogue One, then A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, boom. And then I'll have to do the whole thing over again when I get Last Jedi. Yeah, I'm that girl. So that's what I'm working on right now, but I'm going to end here so I can go practice on my baby. I love it. My fingers hurt so much, and if I do it right, I notice that they still feel like buzzy after I stop practicing, but I'm going to practice for today. I don't know if I'm going to do the video. But I'm going to practice. I don't know how long, probably, until my brother says he wants to go to Speedway. But, I'm going to practice, and my brother and my mom both say I'm getting better. I'm like, really? Already? I thought I was still doing really bad. So, apparently, I am getting better. My mom says it's sounding better, so I guess I really am getting better. I don't know. I have no self-confidence in myself, so that's the thing. I will sit here and say I'm the worst player on the planet. Like, I have absolutely zero self-confidence, so that's the hard part. Oh, I'm eating my hair. I have to trim my bangs. I'm actually thinking, I've been letting these grow out. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Should I, if anybody watches this, should I go ahead and clip these longer strands by my face, or should I keep them and just focus on the bangs? But I've been keeping them, so maybe I'm just gonna, that's a lot of hair, but I think technically they are bangs. I don't know, but I have to trim my bangs soon anyway, probably within the next week or so. So let me know what you guys think, if I should go ahead and just get these strands trimmed short, or just keep them as is, but they keep bugging me, so. Because they're not long enough to pull back into a ponytail or anything like that. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to go ahead and get some practice in. So I might actually read a little bit first because I'm reading a really good fan fiction. So might do a little bit of reading first, then go ahead and get started practicing my guitar for a little bit. And who knows? I'm thinking if I get a case, I might take it up with me to the island. That would be kind of fun. So, because I don't want to get out of practice. So, I will talk to you guys later. Stay safe, stay sane. I'm sending you all lots of love, hugs, and prayers. Bye-bye.